So in the last video, I mentioned to you guys that I was experiencing a lot of panic attacks recently, which just out of the blue, out of nowhere, I haven't had a panic attack in years. Granted, my entire life basically changed very quickly. Quit my normal 9-to-5 job to pursue YouTube. There was like a lot of pressure on the YouTube thing. I didn't feel like I was meeting expectations with that. Started being more social, going out on more dates, all of this stuff. Like my life completely just like flipped. On top of that, like trying to do a bunch of like home renovations, making a bunch of decisions, and having to keep track of a bunch of appointments for like contractors and getting work done, making sure all of those steps were taken care of. I mean, it's easy to like kind of like look at all that and then realize like it's kind of a lot. So I don't really know why I started having panic attacks, but I'm guessing it's just stress. Anyways, the good news is, for the most part, the panic attacks have subsided. But what I was left with was like these random spurts where I would feel just detached from reality, like not in my own body, just kind of out of it and experiencing like these weird time shift feelings. Basically what I was experiencing was the feeling of being high without having taken anything, which was terrifying because I'm someone who does not like my reality distorted. I barely even partake in alcohol. Like I'll have like a drink every now and then, but it's never enough to feel out of control of my situation. You know what I mean? So this feeling was terrifying. And I was legitimately sure that I had broken my brain. But there have been some epiphanies since then. So I reached out to my therapist, Chris, and I was like just asking him all of this. I was like, hey, I'm feeling all of these types of ways. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm very scared. I don't know why I feel like just detached from reality. I don't feel like I'm ever going to feel 100% ever again. He assured me that I did not break my brain. And he's like, it sounds like what you're dealing with is depersonalization, derealization. And so I Googled that, and sure enough, it's like textbook. Basically, when you endure some kind of trauma, your brain kicks into this mode where it like detaches from the situation. And so it's like you're not like so overwhelmed with stress. So you can kind of like deal with it a little bit better. And it normally only lasts like a couple of minutes at most, you know? It's just like a way of your brain to protect itself from like an overwhelm of trauma. In my case, the trauma was the anxiety attack, which is what kicked on this mechanism. But for whatever reason, my brain decides to like kick on this mechanism just randomly throughout the day. And it lasts a long time. So I'm just feeling like detached from reality, which makes me feel scared. And my brain, as brains do, they like to fill in the gaps. So I was trying to find a reason for why this response was taking place. So, of course, I was thinking of all kinds of scary things, all kinds of what ifs, filling in the gaps for myself to like be like, okay, well, there's a logical reason this is happening, you know, like that kind of thing, which just is like this whole cluster jam loop of anxiety and stress and worry. But being able to reach out to my therapist and figure out what it was, like just that knowledge of what is actually happening and that it's not permanent really helps me just put some logic behind it, because I was purely just running on emotions, you know, just like fear, anxiety, stress, worry, all of that. But once I was able to conceptualize it, I feel so much better. And like when that feeling comes on, because I still get that like derealization feeling from like time to time, I'm able to kind of just accept it. Like, okay, this is happening. There's nothing, I'm not in any danger. And I'm working on coping skills to like make me feel grounded and safe so I don't feed into that panic loop. I don't know, it's just been a really long week, but unfortunately, it just gives me like the perfect segue into today's sponsor, because if you think you might be feeling anxious, depressed, stressed, overwhelmed, all of the things that I've been feeling this past week, BetterHelp is there to help you. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may or may not be available in your area locally. I know personally that asking for help is one of the hardest things, and you can come up with a million reasons to procrastinate it and put it off, but BetterHelp just makes it so easy. All you do is go online, fill out a questionnaire so BetterHelp can assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist in under 48 hours. And then once you're matched, then you can schedule video and phone sessions and exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. And the best part is you don't have to go to a physical location to get therapy. You can do it in the comfort of your own home, in private, and in an online environment, which just for me, helps so much to just feel more comfortable, because I don't necessarily feel comfortable in a doctor's office the way that I do at home, especially when it comes to sharing some feelings. Also, if for whatever reason you think the therapist you got matched with isn't the one for you, BetterHelp makes it easy to request a new one at no additional charge anytime. So if you want to join the over 2 million people that are taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced BetterHelp therapist, you can get 10% off your first month when you visit betterhelp.com/Beatrice. That's betterhelp.com/Beatrice for 10% off your first month. Now, as I'm kind of navigating this whole anxiety spiral that I've been doing, I've realized that doing some kind of puzzle or arts and crafts really helps just kind of take my mind off of the worry and let myself know hey, we're safe. We wouldn't be sitting here doing a puzzle if we weren't safe. To kind of just take back control of the situation and offer a distraction and stuff. So I kind of have been feeling like I want to repaint the koi painting that has just been lingering in the background of my videos for years now, because it never just feels quite right. So we're going to head on over to the craft store and get some supplies. I don't know what it is about brightly colored paper that makes me happy, but it do. Okay. Back from Michael's. I'm in my mess of an office. This is where the painting is about to go down. But first, I think we need to make a baby cat toy. Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here, Charlie. 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 That's Charlie. Nothing says crumbling mental health like getting another cat. I'm just kidding. He's not my cat. Come here. Come here, Charlie. We have to make a cat toy, though, to entertain the beast, because we don't have them around. Chetty doesn't play with them and Doug swallows them whole. What's really been helping so far are distractions, and it turns out trying to paint with a kitten is a really big distraction, because not only are you trying to paint, but you also get surprise claws in your back, and little paws slapping the brush or attacking from the back of the canvas, so you end up making marks that you didn't necessarily intend to make. So in some way, he's a bit of a co-collaborator. Plus, since I didn't plan out this painting at all, I didn't know what direction I was going to end up taking it, so it kind of helps to keep me a little bit more interested and focused, because not even I know what the finished product will look like. But I do know that I have been into the color pink recently, which is weird for me because I'm usually not, but that's why the water ended up being Pepto-Bismol colored, so that's that. We got a bit of a monochromatic moment going on. Also, I don't know if this is true or I'm making it up, but I think that they used to paint the walls of mental hospitals pink because it had a soothing effect, but again, I don't know where I heard that from, and I can't be bothered to fact check at the time of this voiceover. So feel free to correct me in the comments and let me know if that's true or not. Anyways, on the topic of mental health, I think the hardest thing about this anxiety glitch I'm going through is that the person that I trust the most, that person being myself, all of a sudden became unreliable. I mean, I've always felt like I was the biggest obstacle to my own goals, but this is like final boss version of myself. It just feels absolutely debilitating at its worst. I'm really trying to get to the bottom of it though, but also realizing that it may not be something that I quickly snap out of. But I'm prepared to do the work because I can't get stuck here. It's just weird. It's like I found one form of freedom by quitting my 9 to 5, and then this happens. Like, no, you can't enjoy yourself that much. Here's the debilitating mind stuff to deal with. But I'm trying to see the big picture and the purpose. I don't really necessarily consider myself an optimistic person at all, but I know that even in the absolute shittiest situations, there are positive things that come from it. Like a person you wouldn't have met or a place you wouldn't have been in otherwise, like butterfly effect type stuff. I think I'm not yet in the hindsight place, but I do see a few positives. First of all, I have the utmost sympathy for people dealing with this on a regular basis because I'm like patting myself on the back for being able to go to the craft store by myself and browse around and not have an episode. Which seems silly, but that's how bad these feelings have affected me in such a short period of time. Like, I am counting all of the little things as a win on a day-to-day basis now. Like, I am not taking anything for granted because it's the weirdest feeling ever. And I have such a deeper understanding of it now because I've never dealt with anxiety to this capacity. Second of all, it forced me to lean on other people, which I have such a problem with. Like you guys know, I don't trust other people to even cut my own hair. Like, I cut my hair myself. I have a hard time letting other people do things for me or asking for help. But it just showed me how lucky I am to have my mom, Aunt Anne, and my friend Connor, who literally would come running in the middle of the night because I was thinking myself into a panic. I'm just so grateful to have those people in my life. Thirdly, I don't know if that's a word or not, but we're gonna roll with it. It made me slow down. Like, look at me painting for the first time in probably years. Making stuff has always made me feel better, and I forget that sometimes. Even if this is the third iteration of this koi painting and I never feel like it's right, it's kind of funny because it marks different periods of my life. Like, each time I've done this koi painting, like since the first koi painting, it was a couple years and I did the second koi painting, and then it's been like a few years, maybe 3 years, and here I am doing the third iteration of this koi painting. I guess I'm in my anime weeb era. I don't know why this turned out so anime-y, but it did. But anyways, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching me paint and chat about my mental health. And if you want to subscribe and hit that notification bell, all that stuff really helps out the channel. But other than that, I just hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!